Okay, good evening. It is Monday, March 6th, 2023. This is a special Board of Education meeting here at District 205 Center. I'd like to call the meeting to order here at 5:31, and if you could please call the roll.
Mrs. Hassler?
Here.
Mrs. Arvanitis?
Here.
Mrs. Troutman?
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Here.
Mr. Collins?
Yeah, here.
Mrs. Stufen?
Here.
And Mrs. Caforio?
Here, we have 7 board members present, none absent. If we could please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, are there any public comments? Okay, nope. All right, so there are none, so we will move on to agenda action items. We have one action item this evening, which is the approval of Sandburg Middle School principal. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Campbell.
Thank you, President Cafario and our Board of Education, and to our community. My administration team and I launched an inclusive and very thorough search to find the next principal for Sandburg Middle School after the announcement of Principal Fehrenbacher's retirement. We set out to ensure that we were creating an opportunity to bring top talent that will ensure continued student growth and success. The rigorous multi-step process began, and once again, community input was incorporated into the process in multiple ways, including our community survey, several parent, student, as well as staff focus groups. The candidates' strengths and their areas of growth were considered alongside the feedback that we received from our community, as well as a review of various artifacts provided throughout the interview process in alignment with the profile of a leader that was created through this engagement. Communication was also provided to the candidates to discuss their status. After all input was reviewed, including reference and background checks, the candidate, Mr. Joshua J. Lewis, is being recommended for hire. By the end of the interview process, he demonstrated that his skills best align with the needs of the Sandburg community. Additionally, throughout the robust interview process and checking his references, it was clear that his personality, his experience, as well as his proven track record, all made him an exceptional fit for the position. Mr. Lewis is an educator with over 20 years of experience serving in high school, middle school, and elementary students in various roles, ranging from a science and social studies teacher, team leader, PLC trainer and facilitator, to assistant principal, and currently principal. In his role, Mr. Lewis has routinely demonstrated the ability to build extraordinary relationships, develop the capacity of others with implementing data-driven approaches to achieve success for all students. Throughout his interviews, Mr. Lewis approached all questions with a student-centered approach and the ability to develop others towards common goals as a community. Since July of 2017, Mr. Lewis has been the proud principal of Steeple Run Elementary School in Naperville, Illinois. Under his leadership, they saw tremendous student achievement gains that resulted in various awards and recognition, but one also being that of becoming a blue ribbon school. Throughout the interview process, highlights of his successes of Mr. Lewis's career emerged with intention to building these positive relationships, fostering teamwork, and creating a collaborative culture and achieving student-focused goals. He is extremely passionate about middle school and middle school experience and looks forward to his transition as the principal of Sandburg Middle School. Board of Education, and to our community, it is with extreme excitement and honor that I present Mr. Joshua Lewis for hire for the position of Sandburg Middle School principalship.
All right, could I have a motion, please?
I move that the Board of Education approve the recommendation for Sandburg Middle School principal as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Troutman, second by Mrs. Hostler. Any comments?
Can I make a comment? Just because I want to echo what Keisha said, but also having been a part of the interview committee, I want to thank the administration. The finalists that we saw during our round were spectacular. This was not an easy pathway for anyone, not even you, Joshua, sorry. But at the end of a rigorous process, I think ultimately the right fit is here with us tonight. And just a couple comments on that whole process, or just our quick meeting of maybe 40 minutes. But what I gathered from there was, and what I was most impressed by was your immediate connection to students, and that rapport and the positivity that was developed in the room, the excitement our kids were left with was really impressive. So that, along with, I think you're going to be a wonderful role model for our staff and community and students. I just want to say thank you for applying and accepting this position, and we look forward to all the great things that you're going to do for our school and district in the future. Thank you and welcome.
Anybody else? No, I think there's been a lot of really great things said, and your passion for middle school came out in our short conversation, and just also that your sensitivity to both student and staff needs in helping get excellent outcomes was evident. So we're really excited to have you be a part of District 205, and thank you for coming along in the process. So, all right, if there's no other questions or comments, then please call the vote.
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes?
Mrs. Hassler?
Yes.
Mrs. Stufen?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanitis?
Yes.
And Mrs. Caforio?
Yes, 7 ayes, no nays, motion passes. Official welcome to District 205. Yeah.
I am honored to be selected, and just echo all the things that were said. It was a privilege to be in that room, in that interview. Thank you to the board for this great opportunity. Going through the interview process, meeting many of the amazing people who make up Sandburg, made it clear that Elmhurst is a place that I would like to make my home. As I enter this new position, I look forward to partnering with the greater Sandburg community to ensure future success. Thank you.
Congratulations. We got to do a picture, right?
Welcome. Yes.
Okay. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and announce our upcoming meetings, and then the board's going to go into closed session. So we have 3 upcoming meetings. We have tomorrow night, March 7th, 2023, Finance and Operation Committee meeting at 5:30 here in District 205 Center. We have March 13th, 2023, Policy Committee meeting at 5:30 here in District 205 Center. And we have March 21st, 2023, regularly scheduled Board of Education meeting at 7 o'clock here in District 205 Center. And so at this time, if I could have a motion to go into closed session?
I move that the Board of Education move to closed session for the purposes of the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. 5 ILCS 122C1.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Troutman, second by Mrs. Hassler. Please call the vote.
Mrs. Troutman?
Yes?
Mrs. Hassler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mrs. Stufen?
Yes.
Mrs. Arvanitis?
Yes.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
And Mrs. Caforio.
Yes, 7 ayes, no nays. The board will go into closed session. There will be no action taken at the end of the meeting. We will simply adjourn when we come out of closed session. Thank you.